do it if you want.
Please, I would love that.
In order to succeed, we must first believe that we can.
Yeah, so in 10th grade lit, we repeat this throughout the poetry slam very, very often. We sort of do a call and response. Would you want to do a call and response with me, maybe?
Me?
So that means I'm gonna say part of the mantra, and you're gonna repeat it back to me. You're gonna have to unmute. All right. So in order to succeed,
we must first believe that we can.
Thank you, Raymond. I couldn't hear all of you, but we could try again later. We have a couple of tips. We're going to ask everyone to mute themselves whenever they're not sharing. We heard from some of the filmmakers that are going to be featured today that headphones provide the optimal experience. And when someone is performing, you can take to the chat for ongoing love. You know how we share love during the Poetry Slam? And you could also unmute yourself after the performance if you want to tell the person something about their performance and give them praise. We have a pretty full set list. There's 2 slides worth of performers. I'm not going to share screen the whole time. I'm just going to share the screen to begin with, and then we'll go full screen, just people from Baruch. And I'm going to start by reading a poem that actually was written in March of this year, but the internet started a rumor that it was written during the flu 100 years ago. And they made up this whole story that this poem that was written has new meaning again during a second pandemic, but it was written just recently, and it's called In the Time of Pandemic by Catherine O'Meara. And the people stayed home, and they read books and listened and rested and exercised and made art and played games and learned new ways of being and were still. And they listened more deeply. Some meditated, some prayed, some danced, some met their shadows, and the people began to think differently. And the people healed. And in the absence of people living in ignorant, dangerous, mindless, and heartless ways, the earth began to heal. And when the danger passed and the people joined together again, they grieved their losses and made new choices and dreamed new images and created new ways to live and heal the earth fully, as they had been healed too. That was In the Time of Pandemic, our first poem for today. And that's Catherine O'Meara, who wrote that beautiful poem. And we are going to actually have our first of 3 video performances. So this is a video. Ms. Castagna can probably explain the context a little bit better. Castagna?
Sure. So if you're not a freshman, we did something a little bit different this year. So for our Romeo and Juliet performances, rather than everybody doing a skit, we had a music group in each class, we had a poetry group in each class, we had a dance group in each class. So the groups that were recreating 2.2, the balcony scene, were all poetry groups. So all 3 of the videos that you're watching are interpretations of the famous balcony scene. This first one was created by Nikki and Emily in 903. And I think you'll be able to figure out as you're watching, but their parents are rivals in the hotel industry. So they're supposed to be in their respective hotel rooms.
We're going to try that again from the top. Maybe if I mute my mic, that's what the problem was.
Tonight was honestly the best night. I got to meet you. I just got undressed.
By a name, I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself because it's an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word. I think I want this more than you. Will you marry me, Juliet? All we have to say is I do. This city doesn't pose a threat. If we leave together, our dreams can come true. We will be all set, a life all brand new. You're my safety net. It will just be us two. Count your money. We need to make sure we don't go into debt. Let's have our big breakthrough. Oh, but we can't look back. No regret. It's something we cannot undo. And once again, Juliet, I love you.
Romeo, yes, I do. Let's run far away. Together we will be lovers. There we can lay our rest with each other. Our wedding can be any day, as soon as possible, because our secret will be discovered. I fear my mother, so no delay. Let's go off with one another. Today. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love as deep, the more I give to thee. The more I have, for both are infinite. Be words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that by bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage send me word tomorrow. Wait, oh no, how am I supposed to leave my parents? They've been with me my whole life, and they've been there for me through everything. I love them with all my heart, and it saddens me to just leave them without saying goodbye, although I don't think they'll ever understand my decision. They have big dreams for me. I was going to take over the hotel one day, and I am their only daughter and child.
I understand exactly what you might be going through. My parents also wanted me to take over the hotel when I was older. I love them a lot too, but I'm willing to make this huge sacrifice for you. Our love is something that can never be replaced. And whatever I have to do, it's worth this crazy race. I do love you. You're the most important person in my life. I've never felt this way before, and my gut tells me you're the one. I want to be with you forever. This is truly what I want. So let's go off together. I'm ready when you are. And but thou love me? Let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death prorogued, wanting of thy love.
You know what? I think I've made up my mind. Let's just leave right now.
Okay, I'll be right there.
You can take a chat with some love for Emily and Nikki. I'm gonna stop screen sharing for a little while so that we can just focus on the presenters. And our first presenter after that awesome video is Leela, who you probably know from the virtual cafe that we did, which she recently performed. And she's going to be performing Lampshades on Fire by Modest Now.
All right, I'm just going to do a little intro before I get into it. So Lampshades on Fire is just a song that this is an abridged version that I did just to make it a little bit more shorter, but I'm hoping it's still getting the meaning. Okay. Well, the lampshades on fire when the lights go out. Well, this is what I really call a party now. Well, fear makes us really, really run around. This one's done, so where to now? Our eyes light up, we have no shame at all. Well, you all know what I'm talking about. Shaved off my eyebrows when I fall to the ground, so I can't look surprised right now. Pack up again, head to the next place, where we'll make the same mistakes. Burn it up, or just chop it down. Ah, this one's done, so where to now? We're all going. We're all going. Our eyes light up. We have no shame at all. Well, you all know what I'm talking about. The room lights up while we're still dancing around. We're having fun, having some for now. Pack up again, head to the next place where we'll make the same mistakes. Open one up and let it fall to the ground. Pile out the door when it all runs out. We're all going. We're all going. We have spines in our bones. We'll eat your food. We'll throw stones. So this is how it's always going, and this is how it's going to go. Well, we're the human race. We're going to party out of this place and then move on tough love. We'll kill you off, then make a clone. Yeah, we have spines. Yeah, we have bones. This is how it's always gone, and this is how it's going to go. As our feelings are getting hurt, we want you to do the work. Our ass looks great inside these jeans. Well, we all just don't want to clean. Oh, this is how it's always been, and this is how it's going to be. So you just move on. The air's on fire, so we're moving on. Better find another one, because this one's done. Waiting for the magic when the scientists glow to push, pull us up! Spend some time to float in outer space. Find another planet, make the same mistakes. Our minds all shattered when we climb aboard, hoping for the scientists to find another door.
Promoting all of that beautiful energy, Lila. You always do such a beautiful job. We are going to hear from a ninth grader now named Mira, who's going to be reading a Pablo Neruda piece for us.
Hi, this is Ode to Peace and Quiet by Pablo Neruda. Deep restfulness, still water, bright peaceful shade, emerging from the fray, the way lakes emerge from waterfalls. Merciful reward, perfect petal. I lie, face up, and watch the sky stream by. Its deep blue mass slides past. Where is it headed? With its fish, its islands and estuaries. Above me, the sky. Below me, the rustling of a desiccated rose. Small things fidget. Insects flit by like numbers. This is the earth. Roots are at work. Down below, minerals and water seep into our bodies and germinate inside of us. Lying there motionless. That day beneath the tree, we knew nothing of this. The leaves were all talking, trading, news of other trees, stories about their homeland, about trees. Some still remember the leopard's stealthy shape, moving like solid mist through their branches. Others recall snow whipped by gales, the storm season's scepter. We should let all mouths speak, not just trees. We should all sit still in the midst of this inculpable song. Nothing on earth lacks a voice. When we close our eyes, we hear things that slither, creatures that are growing, the creaking of unseen wood, and then the world. Earth, heavenly waters, air. Everything sounds like thunder at times. Other times like a distant river. Peace and quiet, a moment's rest, or a daze. From your depths, we will gather minerals. From your unspeaking face, music light will issue. This is how we'll perfect our actions. This is how men and women will speak the earth's conviction and never know it.
Thank you so much, Mira. That was gorgeous. Neruda is so evocative, and we love the choice. Thank you, Mira.
Thank you.
Ms. Perez is going to be very bravely sharing her own piece, which is so incredible, and I applaud you on doing so. And this is Ms. Perez with Connected.
Okay, hi everyone. Aside from being a principal, I've always loved to write poetry. That's my daughter Kaya. Hi. She's supporting me. I wrote this piece in February. As I think we don't give excuses for our work, but it was a draft, but I'm gonna go ahead and read it. It's called Connected. Family tree branches spreading, tips splintering, weathered by time, roots planted deep. Always in the same spot, sun rises and sets, grass grows and dies, birds sing. The air thin, whispers life. I stand beneath the shade of its leaves, broad, steady, watch as they fall and new buds form. Don't notice time passing until I look down and see my mottled hands. Just like my mother's hands, weathered branches, reaching for my father, as his eyes scan the horizon, looking for the elusive green flash, sun melting with the sea, leaving behind a brief reminder in a secret melodrama. He is rooted to us, but is floating away. Flotsam, jetsam, the water is still and empty in the distance. A quiet moment in a still pool, between shrieks of joy as cousins crash in chlorinated bliss. He turns to me. Coming here reminds me of Charlie. I don't think it would, says Michael, and I feel his sorrow. I see him walking away from me as I stand at the Gulf's edge. His footprints vanish in the sand, over my pregnant steps with my mother, over my children's small feet finding joy, over the shadow of once was, over new life following ahead. Our tree stands tall, but bowed at second glance. We stay connected, but feel the strain of time, falling apart, falling away. I gasp at the air and look to the sky. Thank you.
I got a little emotional. It was so beautiful. And I really, the imagery was so beautiful. I got a little teary-eyed. Thank you for reminding us that our tree stands tall no matter the circumstances, Ms. Perez. That was beautiful. Our next speaker and performer is a poet who I teach this year, Maya, who won a Scholastic Award earlier this year, actually. And Maya is always experimenting with language so beautiful. So Maya, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. This poem is about the isolation, kind of. And yeah, it's called The Monster I Cannot See. No one ever told me I'd be drowning in salt water. No one ever told me I'd be banned from the sun. No one ever told me mother would cry out her resentment. No one ever told me I'd be deaf from laughter of everyone. No one ever told you smells of cinnamon and patience would fall from your nose. No one ever told you I'd be the only one who understood. No one ever told you sounds of car horns or motorcycles would drizzle from your eardrums. But no one ever told you to stop saying what you should. No one ever told us we'd forget the feeling of our arms tied around each other's bones. No one ever told us we'd need someone to push the backpack weight off our shoulders. No one ever told the outspoken to shove their dignity into their pocket. And no one ever told the shameful to let the hurricane sweep them off the grass. Grass, do we not deserve you? Sky, have you grown too heavy for our arms? Windows, are you on our side or the monsters? No, she's just the godmother who fears the world might destroy us. But destruction, how you're longed for. My heart is put together with super glue, but it's only the air of common soul that can break it, and kiss it with strength, and break it and kiss it with comfort, the comfort of living, the comfort of car horns and bubble tea, and locker doors and eye twinkles, and mornings and good nights. It's not the same until it might be colored again with chaos and light, gain and also lose a tiptoeing fright. No one ever told me I could only dream of something so bright. That's it.
Maya, so beautiful. The monster I can't see. I love that piece. I hope you're reading the chat right now, and if not, I can share it with you later. That was such a beautiful piece. Thank you, Maya. You have to keep writing forever. You must. Our next presenters are Maeve and Saran, who wrote a piece called The Montagues and the Sunlets.
Hi. So just some context on this, it's also a poetry for Romeo and Juliet, and it's in space. So if that helps, it's the place is in space. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a girl in space. Considering a crime, that would be a slap in her parents' face. She was falling in love with her only competition, a boy as kind as a dove who was on the same space mission.
As kind as a dove, falling in love, I am undeserving of the words you speak of.
Eavesdropper, heart stopper.
That may have been improper, but that was not my intention. I am only a dopper. You have my undivided attention.
Do you mean to impress me? You are positively failing.
Oh God, please bless me, or I will start wailing.
I heard that, you know. We are all alone. It may not show, but your looks have me thrown.
Don't make me blush. I'm trying to find a zyphodium. It'll mean the end of this new gold rush, and then I'll be buried in a beautiful mausoleum.
Zyphodium, the holy space stone, the one to which we have flown. I will make it my own. You think you'll retrieve it and win? Montague, you don't stand a chance.
I bet on my kin, and when I win, I will dance.
You won't find a thing. I would try to parley, but there's a party in full swing. Good luck, Charlie.
Don't go. Our minutes are few. This will be the last you'll see of me. I really hope to tell you how we can together be free.
This search has me furious, yet you still make me curious.
My face is askew, but you, fair one, your eyes glisten like drops of dew, and you're radiant like the sun. No, that's not right. Juliet is the sun, bright even at midnight, and the only one. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, the moon that is my name. 'Tis but thy name that is my enemy.
The words that you spew are words I hope not to forget. If our time wasn't through, I wouldn't be filled with regret.
We still have time. I have thought up a plot. Admit that I am sublime, and we will avoid getting caught.
I like you a lot.
That's all you have to say?
Fine. I thought feelings like these had to be bought. You invade my every thought, but my heart is in a knot, and my family ties are beginning to rot.
We cannot let this go. Our love is too strong. Avoiding each other will only cause it to grow, though talking more often may seem wrong.
This is wrong indeed, for so many reasons.
I cannot promise this will succeed, for the plan involves treason.
How that fills me with joy. I pray for our future.
You play with my heart like a toy. I hope someone fixes it with suture.
Tell me, what is this plan you have spun?
There are 2 spaceships, but we only need one. We make sure it can't go on another trip, and then we run. We tell our crew members and wait for them to realize your family's ship is only embers. We cannot take to the skies, and we must become allies. So do you agree?
I'll try to be polite, but I am not filled with glee. I have no joy in this contract tonight.
Parting is such sweet sorrow. Well, I'll be by your ship tomorrow. You can answer me then. Juliet, I sincerely hope that I'll see you again.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That was incredible. I'm getting very excited to teach this class next year. I really, really appreciated it. That was so clever and awesome.
You're going to have a lot of fun, Mr. Rico.
I can see that. They're so creative. And the collaboration, I don't know how they were so in sync with each other from afar. That was awesome, ladies. Our next poet and performer and artist is Tessa, the lovely Tessa, who is performing a piece that she wrote herself called Let It.
Okay. Let It by myself. Let the heat from the fire remind you of that summer. Let the lick of the flame, so hot it's cold, remind you of the pool we swam in. Let it remind you of the shoulder I gave you in the beginning, and only the beginning. And I hope the taste of juice reminds you of me. Let the tackiness of sugar on the side of a cold glass remind you of my touch, unforgettable and sweet. Because my heart aches for this, for the minute forevers of your stares from across the table. I ache for the secrets, like letters passed silently through the night. I want the sight of your tanned skin glistening from a swim in the lake, in which the only thing I trust in its opaque waters is you. Let the pain I feel missing you be the same as yours. Because it hurts to see the rise and fall of my chest as I breathe with my thoughts at night, as it reminds me of how just your presence was enough to pull me forward. And let the sound of my name echo in places where your deepest secrets are kept. Let the rich color of a purple hazed moonlight pouring over your sheets remind you of those velvet nights, Let my longing for the past push us both into a limbo of nostalgia, never regret. And when you open your eyes from sleeping in the sun and everything looks black and white, let the lingering memory of me make colors bountiful again. That was Let It by me.
Tessa?
Oh, I love you.
Tessa, everything you do is so colorful and rich. I miss your writing so much. So beautiful. You have to share that with all of us. Thank you, Tessa. Let It. Our next performer is none other than Ms. Carolyn Castagna, the maestro to all of the freshmen sharing today, and she's sharing a piece by Nikki Giovanni.
So I have a little personal story. I'll try to keep it brief before this poem. When I was in 8th grade, my language arts teacher assigned us all a poet to research, and all of my friends got famous poets, Emily Dickinson, Robert Frost, and I got Nikki Giovanni, who I'd never heard of. But as I started to read her poetry and research her, I really began to like her. And I did the project and didn't really think much about it after that. And then my freshman year of college, I was walking on campus and I saw a sign that Nikki Giovanni was coming to do a reading. So of course I went to the reading and I got to meet her, and she was amazing. And I told her about my 8th grade project, and she was so sweet. She gave me a big hug and made me feel really good. So anyway, here's my poem, her poem, Choices. If I can't do what I want to do, then my job is to not do what I don't want to do. It's not the same thing, but it's the best I can do. If I can't have what I want, then my job is to want what I've got and be satisfied that at least there is something more to want. Since I can't go where I need to go, then I must go where the sign points, though always understanding parallel movement isn't lateral. When I can't express what I really feel, I practice feeling what I can express. And none of it is equal, I know, but that's why mankind alone among the animals learns to cry.
Shared with, well, first of all, I've never heard that story, and I want a hug from Nikki Giovanni too. That's a hero.
We still have stories to tell each other.
I love that. I love that we still have stories to tell each other. And when Ms. Castagna first picked this poem and I read it, I thought, oh my gosh, she picked the perfect poem, because every day we have choices to make in this situation. And I thank you for reminding me that we have to accept where we are and keep making choices. The lovely Ifat is going to be reading a piece by Rumi called I See My Beauty in You, which is also so poignantly chosen. So Ifat, the microphone is all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Rico. I see my beauty in you by Rumi. I see my beauty in you. I become a mirror that cannot close its eyes to your longing. My eyes wet with yours in the early light. My mind, every moment giving birth, always conceiving, always in the 9th month, always the come point. How do I stand this? We become these words we say, a wailing sound moving out into the air. These thousands of worlds that arise from nowhere. How does your face contain them? I'm a fly in your honey, then closer, a moth caught in flames allure, then empty sky stretched out in homage. I see my beauty in you. I see my beauty in you.
I know a lot of people in the room right now know you, but not all of them. And it couldn't be truer for anyone that Ifat sees beauty, her beauty in everyone else and through everyone else all the time. So thank you for sharing that beautiful, compassionate poem with us, Ifat. I loved it. We are going to hear from Lessus, who is sharing a poem he wrote himself with us.
Okay, so before I share my poem, can I give like an introduction? Can I share something? It's like an image that an object that I want to share for this.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this clipboard, I actually don't know where it came from. It's like Coldwell Banker on the back, but I've had it my entire life. No idea where it comes from, but it's basically where I've written like everything that I usually need to write, and it's just like so important to me because I'm like I like drawing and writing a lot. And it has things from throughout my life. It has paint from like when I was a very little kid. It has pencil marks when I was in school, so it like tells my life story. So one day I was sitting down and thought, I want to write some poems. I'd never wanted to do this before, so I thought I'd make it about this. Okay, so when people may look at this clipboard, they might just see a clipboard, but when I gaze upon it, I witness my entire life within. From the marks of paint and crayons from my youth to the small, careless imprints of pens left behind from my early days of schooling, to the gray hues of pencil from when I learned that we make too many mistakes to afford to not correct them, to the white. Oh, so much white. When I look upon this clipboard, I see many things, but above all, the white. Okay, that's it. It's a short one.
I thought that was so incredible, and my 10th graders know we're doing reader response analysis. I connected with it so much because I live for my clipboards. Lisus, I look forward to teaching you. That was amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Our next performer is none other than Evangeline from the 10th grade, who's going to be sharing a Robert Frost poem that she picked out as she was thinking about deconstructionism and the multiplicity of meaning in everything that we read.
Hi. Yeah, I mean, originally I picked the poem because it reminded me of what we were learning in class, but it also applies a lot to what's going on now and how you can like see beauty in everything. So this is The Rose Family by Robert Frost. The rose is a rose and was always a rose, but the theory now goes that the apple's a rose, and the pear is, and so's the plum, I suppose. The dear only knows what we will next prove a rose. You, of course, are a rose, but you were always a rose. And well, that's by Robert Frost.
Thank you, Evangeline. You are a rose too. That was beautiful. And I love that you found it and we're so willing to share it, even though I only asked you today to do that. We are going to Lily Vatra from the 9th grade, who's going to share with us an Emily Dickinson poem. Is she here, Lily? Ms. Castagna, do we know if Lily is here?
Sorry, I was having trouble unmuting. I saw her a little while ago. Lily, are you here? I saw her. Oh, she's muted. She's here.
Okay.
Let me see if I could.
She left. She left, and she's going to come back. Maybe her technology.
Okay.
Yes, maybe she had technical difficulties because it just said she left.
Okay.
That's sometimes my remote school move too. If everything's working, I leave and I come back.
Okay.
If Lily is not here right now, maybe we move on and then we come back, okay? So let me know if you see her, Ms. Castagna.
Okay, and I'll email her in the meantime too.
Okay. We are going to have a very special piece now. Ms. Nardacci hooked us up with a piece by 4 of the seniors together. Adriana, Carolina, Louisa, and Chloe are going to jointly perform a piece by Garcia Lorca.
So we were having a few technical difficulties, so we don't know if everyone who was originally supposed to perform the poem is actually on. So that's
you want to go later, hon?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's pause it. Don't let me
you.
forget, okay, Kuka?
Thank you.
Which means we're actually going to take a little intermission for another video performance.
I think.
So we have if everyone can mute themselves, we're going to watch a video created by Laura in ninth grade class for the assignment that Ms. Castagna explained earlier. And without further ado, this is a video creation by Laura.
You are one and only one, but all in my interest. An omen it is. Juliet, call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth, I never will be Romeo. I love you. The demons who chase us transcends. Love turning thorns into flowers blooming. The deep sensation with no end is our sixth sense. You became my dream, a drug, that's you. Pain eases pain. Starting a fire to prevent a fire. Poison counteracting poison. Drug becoming medicine. After you. Why, thank you.
Wow. That was incredible. What a tremendous performance. I was not anticipating. I actually hadn't previewed them all. I'm gonna stop presenting because that was our last video performance segment. That was incredible though. And we are going to hear from Ms. Ross, who's going to share one of my most favorite poems in the world by Robert Frost, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening.
Remember I started?
Okay, we're just unmuting. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Miss you all so much. So I also have a really quick story.
Wait, first, can I say something?
Very quickly.
I was gonna do this, but I got really scared to do it over 64 people. So yeah, don't go insane.
Okay, thank you. So that's Ben. So Sophie and I are gonna read this poem, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. So a couple of really quick things. So one, this is one of my most favorite poems that has gotten me through some very dark times. It's also a poem that the English department has taught many times in many different settings for many different reasons, and it's so beautiful. And then a few years ago, we found out that there's an illustrated copy, and I grabbed one from school, and my kids and I have been reading it and pretty much have memorized it at this point, right?
Yeah.
And I find that there's something so meditative and beautiful about it. So we're gonna read to you from our copy. So this is Sophie. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, and we're gonna read this, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, together. Okay. Whose woods these are, I think I know.
His house is in the village, though.
He will not see me stopping here
To watch his woods fill up with snow.
My little horse must think it queer.
To stop without a farmhouse near.
Between the woods and frozen lake,
The darkest evening of the year.
he gives his harness bells a shake.
To ask if there is some mistake.
The only other sounds the sweep
Of easy wind.
and downy flake.
The woods are lovely, dark and deep.
But I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep.
Right.
And this is the illustrated copy, and it's really beautiful. So. Thank you.
What's so incredible, and I think almost all of the Baruchians can attest to this, is we always talk in literature class about how so much artwork is allegorical and can be representative of so many different things. And Ms. Roth, you nailed it by choosing that. We are definitely in those deep, dark, lovely woods trying to trot on. So thank you to you and Sophie and Ben too for making an appearance. That was awesome. We are up to, oh, actually, I think we're going to hear from Lily now, who is back online with an Emily Dickinson poem. Lily, are you here?
Yes. Sorry, my internet went out for a second.
No problem at all.
Okay. Should I read all three or just pick one?
You can read all three if you want. We're here for you.
A word is dead when it is said, some say. I say it just begins to live that day. 'Twas such a little boat that twaddled down the bay. 'Twas such a gallant sea that beckoned it away. 'Twas such a greedy wave that licked it from the coast. Nor ever guessed the stately sails my little craft was lost. I'm nobody. Who are you? Are you nobody too? Don't tell, they'd advertise, you know. How dreary to be somebody, how public like a frog, to tell one's name the livelong June to an admiring bog.
Those choices were perfect. Thank you for doing that. Emily Dickinson has such a way with such a minimal amount of words to say so much, and your strong, powerful voice delivered them so wonderfully. Thank you, Lily. We are going to hear from Saran in the 9th grade with a piece that she wrote herself called The Girl.
Hi. So this is basically a poem about how people would see a stranger and how that person sees themselves. And it's a short poem. Okay. This is The Girl by me. In the mirror is a girl with long legs and pretty curves. In the window is a girl with long lashes and pretty lips. In the picture is a girl with long earrings and pretty smiles. On the street is the girl with short glances and ugly thoughts. That's it.
That was awesome. Thank you. I loved seeing that girl in all of her different representations, Saran. That was awesome. Thank you for sharing your own work. That was beautiful. Definitely a relation to Rogan Spiegel, Noah. That's his sister. We are going to hear from my friend Nia, who's sharing a piece by Frank Ocean, the genius, called Wither.
Oh, okay. Oh, where the trees burned down, place where the fields went down in flames. You could put a hole in the ground. Oh, seasons dance for rain. It takes a time to wander, conscience to feel ashamed. There's no place to hide out there. These skies are filled with pain. And both our hands are filthy, pointing up at the moon. Girl, tonight I'll hold you close, close enough to prove. Hope a garden grows where we dance this afternoon. Hope our children walk by spring and flowers bloom. Hope they'll get to see my color, know that I've enjoyed sunshine. Pray they'll get to see me wither. Oh, and I hope, know that I've enjoyed the sunshine. Know that I've enjoyed the sunshine.
Yes, Nia, that was beautiful. It's always sunshine when you're sharing, Nia. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. I'm so glad you
go,
did.
Nia.
Yes,
Sorry.
more of us need to unmute our mics like Mr. Norak. No, I want that. Jump in here, people.
You go, Nia.
That was really good.
We are going to hear from Mariam in the 9th grade, a piece called The Future.
Yes,
Okay.
Miriam.
I picked this poem because it kind of reminded me of a quote that kind of stuck with me from a book series that I used to read. I forgot the name, but yeah. So it is it true that the future is always bright? In the past, there was not much light. The future is ours to behold, but what I was told in the future, you get old. The future will come, this is sure, yours and mine, one sec at a time, until the final curtain. And that's it.
It was awesome, though. Thank you. Yay.
Good job.
It's amazing how timely everyone's choices were right now. I love everybody's picks. It is time for Retta Baby, my love, who is going to share with us a gorgeous poem by none other than E.E. Cumming.
Yeah, E.E. is one of my favorites, along with Rumi. Thanks, Efat. I want to say something about this poem. You know, it's appropriate to this time, not because of the virus, but because it's spring, and because this poem talks about flowers and what the flowers know and what the flowers show us. And I hope that if you do get a chance to take a walk outside, that you see the budding leaves, the beautiful trees, the flowers, the cleanish air for once, the animals, the pigeons, the squirrels, the different birds, and enjoy this season because it reminds us that life springs eternal and that this is going to end and we'll be able to walk together without face masks someday. So here it is, E. Cummings in Daffodils, in Time of Daffodils. In time of daffodils, who know the goal of living is to grow, forgetting why, remember how. In time of lilacs, who proclaim the aim of waking is to dream, remember so, forgetting seem. In time of roses, who amaze our now and here with paradise, forgetting if, remember yes. In time of all sweet things beyond whatever mind may comprehend, remember seek, forgetting find, and in a mystery to be, when time from time shall set us free, forgetting me, remember me. That's it.
Yay, Retta. Beautiful, Retta.
Scott, wasn't that gorgeous?
It was.
Remember,
Beautiful.
seek, forgetting, find, Retta. I love that.
Retta,
No,
I
you want
think
to
your voice is the perfect
Yeah,
voice.
I found a good Kurt Vonnegut one I like. So I'll throw
Okay,
that
hold on. Wait 1 second. Ms. Foreman just wants to give some love to Ms. Barron.
I just wanted to say that I think you have the perfect voice to read poetry always. It's very soothing.
I love to do it. Thank you.
I love
think of it as a gift.
All right, so we're going to have a surprise performance before we move to our next one, and Noah is going to share with us a Kurt Vonnegut piece. Noah?
Yeah, it's called Requiem by Kurt Vonnegut. It
The floor is yours.
seems pretty fitting for now, I guess. The crucified planet Earth, should it find a voice and a sense of irony, might now well say of our abuse of it, forgive them, Father, they know not what they do. The irony would be that we know what we are doing. When the last living thing has died on account of us, how poetic it would be if Earth could say, in a voice floating up perhaps, from the floor of the Grand Canyon, it is done, people do not like it here. So.
I love that. I don't know what we're doing.
I love Kurt Vonnegut.
Same, he's like my favorite author, so it's good to get a little poem in there.
He's amazing.
And I also love that you just jumped in. So if anybody is out there and they're like, you know what, before this thing wraps up today, I'd like to share a quote or a line from something or a poem, feel free to do what Noah did and hit me up in the chat and I will insert you in.
Thanks for representing the 11th grade, Noah.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, someone had to represent.
Annabelle Bean is going to share something with me. I think she just basically said that. Yay.
They're my juniors.
Okay, so this next poet, Natalie, floored us all at the Poetry Slam back in December, and she is going to be sharing something she wrote herself called Little Miss Perfect.
Okay, wait, am I there?
You're here.
Okay, so a little background to it. I kind of wrote it based on the way I think, not just girls, but I think the way people talk about each other and how it's ironic and shows a lot of hypocrisy. So, and also the person, it like sounds like it's about me. It's more about just everyone. Okay, Little Miss Perfect by me. She's the one who sits in the class. She's the one who sits in the back of class. All tall and poised, what's the matter with that? You look at her to say, if you look any more perfect today, it's only a Tuesday. When she walks to class, everyone looks at her, jealous and with wrath. Oh wait, up from behind you can see a little back fat. She could use a nose job too, and that's not the only flaw we saw. If you look a little harder, you could see her crooked jaw. And she doesn't smile enough. Is that bad to say? If we looked like her, we would smile every day. We think we saw her cry in the bathroom stall. What the fuck does she have to cry about? She's all pretty and tall. Don't forget her nickname, Little Miss Perfect and all. But there are a few things we didn't see, because we didn't see what was behind the mask of the girl who sat in the back of class. We didn't see her parents fighting with rage, or when we also didn't see when he forced her on her knees, or when she was throwing up so much she couldn't see. We didn't know that when she was alone she had a hard time, because she had so many thoughts inside. We can keep using the same excuse we didn't know because we weren't told to do so. We in society believe that beauty and mystique can solve the problems that run down so deep. We are all that she, that girl in the back of class. Society is the we, but individually, we are all that she. So listen to this idea I might have had. If all the she's got together and supported each other's backs, maybe as a we could be better than the old we, the we who called out that she in the back of class and made fun of that girl's back fat. And maybe have saved a life, just like that. Yeah, that's it.
Wow. Wow. We are all that she, Natalie. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Miss Castagna and I zoomed in on that same line because we got you, right? So, so beautiful. Natalie, keep writing, keep sharing. That was so beautiful. We are going to Sophie in the 9th grade, who's going to read us a Szymborska poem called Nothing Twice, slightly modified for the circumstances.
Nothing twice, Wisława Szymborska. Nothing can ever happen twice. In consequence, the sorry fact is that we arrive here improvised and leave without the chance to practice. No day copies yesterday, no 2 nights will teach what bliss is, in precisely the same way, with precisely the same kisses. One day, perhaps, some idle tongue mentions your name by accident. I feel as if a rose were flung into the room all hue and scent. The next day, though you're here with me, I can't help looking at the clock. A rose, what could that be? Is it a flower or a rock? Why do we treat the fleeting day with so much needless fear and sorrow? It's in its nature not to stay. Today is always gone tomorrow. With smiles and kisses, we prefer to seek a chord beneath our star. Although we're different, we concur, just as 2 drops of water are.
Wow, what a beautiful human connection. I love that. Thank you so much,
Mr.
Sophie.
Rico?
That was gorgeous.
Mr. Rico?
Yes.
If you can
talk to me.
If you can place me in somewhere, that would be great if you have the room.
Is now a good time for you, or you want me to come back?
Now's good.
Yeah, now is great.
Okay. So I've retired, and this poem kind of speaks to retirement a little bit. It's called Insomnia by Linda Paston. I remember when my body was a friend, when sleep, like a good dog, came when summoned. The door to the future had not started to shut, and lying on my back between sheets did not feel like a rehearsal. Now what light is left comes up, a stain in the east, and sleep reluctant as a busy doctor. Give me a little of its time. That's it.
Rock, I felt that.
I got a little frozen here for a second, Mr. Norak. I'm sorry. That was so fitting and beautiful. Did you have that in mind already, or were you thinking of it during the slam? I need to know.
Wow. Oh, okay. Well, I looked up Linda Paston today. I liked her a lot earlier, and I didn't know I could go. And then when you said other people could go, I looked up this. I looked up some poems, and I liked that immediately.
So beautiful. Thank you. Can you share it with me?
Yes, I will.
I loved it. Thank you. And I love hearing that voice of yours. Okay. We are going to, my friend Maud, my Maudie. And Maud is going to be doing a Baudelaire poem in both French and English.
You go, Maud.
Do you guys have a preference for which one you want me to do first?
French first.
French first.
Okay, French it is.
French first.
Les Hiboux by Charles Baudelaire.
Sous les ifs noirs qui les abritent, des hiboux se tiennent rangés. Ainsi que des dieux étrangers, dardant leur œil rouge, ils méditent. Sans rumeur, ils se tiendront, jusqu'à l'heure mélancolique où, poussant le soleil oblique, les ténèbres s'établiront. Leur attitude aux sages enseigne qu'il faut en ce monde qu'ils craignent le tumulte et le mouvement. L'homme ivre du nom qui passe porte toujours le châtiment d'avoir voulu changer de place. That was the French version. Now English. Yay. Under the dark hues which shade them, the owls are perched in rows. Like so many strange gods, darting their red eyes, they meditate. Without budging they will remain, till that melancholy hour, when pushing back the slanting sun, darkness will take up its abode. Their attitude teaches the wise that in this world one must fear movement and commotion. Man, enraptured by a passing shadow, forever bears the punishment of having tried to change his place.
Oh, Maud, that made me more.
Amazing, Maud.
So beautiful. Thank you for doing
Beautiful,
that.
Maud.
Everybody was swooning in the chat room. Thank you, Maudie. We are going to go, we have a couple more and then a couple of people who were not in the original lineup but that want to share, which is wonderful. So we're going to go first to Ga In with Forgotten Language by Shel Silverstein, and then Prudence, if you're out there, I was thinking you could go after Ga In, and then I want to circle back to those seniors out there. So Ga In, if you are ready, you can take the floor.
So the reason I chose this is because I feel like time has gone by so quickly during quarantine, and it's been like already 7 weeks, and I feel like this poem is about just getting older and sort of losing touch to certain parts of yourself. Okay. Once I spoke the language of flowers. Once I understood each word of the caterpillar said. Once I smiled in secret at the gossip of the starlings and shared a conversation with the houseflies in my bed. Once I heard and answered all the questions of the crickets and joined the crying of each falling dying flake of snow. Once I spoke the language of flowers. How did it go? How did it go? That's it.
Wow.
That was amazing.
It was so serene and timely. Thank you for sharing that and getting us thinking about the impermanence of time. Time really is passing in a very strange way. I find that the days are both very long and very fast at the very same time. We are going to hear from Prudence, my love, who is going to do an impromptu reading of something for us. Prudence, are you out there?
Yes, I am. I want to read On the Voice of Morning by Maya Angelou. Okay. A rock, a river, a tree. Hosts a species long since departed, marked by the mastodon, the dinosaur who left dry tokens of their sojourn here on our planet floor. Any broad alarm of their hastening doom is lost in the gloom of dust and ages. But today, the rock cries out to us, clearly, forcefully. Come, you may stand upon my back and face your distant destiny, but seek no haven in my shadow. I will give you no hiding place down here. You created only a little lower than the angels, have crouched too long in the bruising darkness, have lain too long, face down in ignorance, your mouth spilling words armed for slaughter. The rock cries out to us today. You may stand upon me, but do not hide your face.
Ah, Prudence, I'm so glad you decided to share. That was amazing. Such a reminder that we have to do the work to find the rock upon which we stand right now, and that rock might change from day to day. Today, you people are my rock for sure, because this is beautiful. Prudence, thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you for
We're gonna try to hit up the senior Español Tres crowd. I think they have a performance for us.
Yes.
Adriana, is that true?
Oh, so yeah, so the technical difficulties was it was supposed to be myself, Carolina, um, Chloe, and Louisa, but Carolina's having technical difficulties and is unfortunately not going to be able to present with us. So it'll just be me, Chloe, and Louisa doing this.
Espanol cinco. My correct. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know we went that far. Okay, go for it, Kuka.
Okay, so first we'll be reading this in Spanish, and this is called Es la Ciudad sin Sueño por Federico García Lorca. No duerme nadie por el cielo, nadie, nadie. No duerme nadie. Las criaturas de la luna huelen y rondan sus cabañas. Vendrán las iguanas vivas a morder a los hombres que no sueñan, y que él huye con el corazón roto, encontrará por las esquinas al increíble cocodrilo quieto bajo la tierna protesta de los astros. And then in English will be.
So I'll be reading the English part. So this is City That Does Not Sleep by Federico Garcia Lorca. In the sky, there is nobody asleep. Nobody, nobody, nobody is asleep. The creatures of the moon sniff and prowl about their cabins.
The living iguanas will come and bite the men who do not dream. And the man who rushes out with his spirit broken will meet on the street corner, the unbelievable alligator quiet beneath the tender protest of the stars.
And that's it.
Fantastic, that was beautiful. That was a really, really thoughtful collaboration, and I'm so glad that Ms. Nardachi and your class decided to share that bilingual performance with us today. Thank you so much. We are going to go back to me sharing the screen for a moment. I have a painting, I believe, to share with you. Annabelle, is it a painting? Maybe? I will show you. So we have one more video performance, but also, let's see if I manage to get it in here. Please hold. Here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Beautiful. So this is, I don't know if Annabelle is here to talk about it. She just shared it with me. Oh, it looks like multimedia. Annabelle, are you here?
Hi, I'm here.
Can you tell us a little bit about this stunning piece?
Well, I did it for art, to be honest, because it was our assignment, but we basically just had to make an imaginary world and then include monsters or whatever you wanted to in it. So that's what I made on Photoshop because we just got like the Adobe package or whatever. So I just wanted to experiment with it. I
love it. I love this entire, like it's fascinating. And this is you, no?
No, that's not me. That's just like some random girl I found online.
Oh, she's very Annabelle Bean reminiscent. I love it, Annabelle. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Shout out to Ms. Haverlevich and that really cool project. We have one more Romeo and Juliet, and then we're going to hear from Samantha with a poem that's very relevant to right now, and we'll close out. So this is another 2.2 scene.
My signature is on all names, and if thou would not, you would swear my love, and I'll no longer be a captive. Call me but love, and I'll renew baptized. Henceforth, I never will be Romeo. Destiny weaving our stones into a mosaic. Immortal love with immortal stars watching us in heaven. The demons who chase us transcends. Love turning thorns into flowers blooming. The deep sensation from no end is our sixth sense. We became a dream, a drug, a stew, pain and spit, starting a fire to prevent the fire. Poison counteracting poison, a drug becoming a medicine.
I love seeing all of the different interpretations that the ninth graders did of this powerful scene, and being reminded that sometimes you need to start a fire to put out another fire. That was awesome. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Our last official performance is Samantha in the ninth grade, and she is going to be sharing a poem that really hit me the first time I read it. It's called The First Lines of Emails I've Received While Quarantining.
Hi there. Okay. Give me 1 sec. Okay, there we go. So this is by, I think, Jessica Salfia. But I just thought, it's just a more, I guess it's a poem people can, understand as we've been quarantining. But okay. In these uncertain times, as we it's called The First Lines of Emails I've Received While Quarantining. In these uncertain times, as we navigate the new normal, are you willing to share your ideas and solutions? As you know, many people are struggling. I know you are up against it, the digital landscape. We share your concerns. As you know, many people are struggling. We hope this note finds you and your family safe. We've never seen anything like this before. Here are 25 distance learning tips. As you know, many people are struggling. Feeling fiesta today? Happy Taco Tuesday! Calories don't count during a pandemic. Grocers report flour shortages and more people are baking than ever. As you know, many people are struggling. Count your blessings. Share your blessings. Get free curbside pickup or shipped to your house. Chicken, lemon, artichokes. As you know, many people are struggling. How are you inspiring greatness today? We have a cure for your cabin fever. Pandemic dial-in town hall tonight. As you know, many people are struggling. Mother's Day looks a little different this year. You're invited to shop all jeans for 50% off. Yes, buy one, get one free. As you know, many people are struggling. Call us to discuss a loan extension without penalty. Act now. Tell Congress charters that not line their pockets during the COVID crisis. Now, shopping face masks recommended by the CDC. As you know, many people are struggling. This is not normal.
Thank you so much, Samantha.
Yeah.
You injected that with such reality. Right? So we're at the end of our lineup, and I thought Samantha's poem was just the perfect time, the perfect way to end, because it sort of starts by acknowledging that we are not in a normal scenario. We are certainly doing things in ways that we've never done them before. Is my screen sharing, Mr. Norak? Maybe?
It is.
Oh, beautiful.
It is.
Thank you. I wanted to give a couple shout outs, and then if people want to share anything. While the things are not normal right now, our community is still our community, and so we can find our normal in each other. And I am really thankful to Ms. Lamb, who did the virtual cafe and opened up this sort of opportunity to do things like this. And Ms. Perez pitched the idea to me and said, what do you think about a poetry event? And Ms. Castagna and all her ninth graders joined the sophomores in such powerful ways. And then we heard from juniors and seniors. So I thank all of the writers and performers and audience members and just all of the creators among us, everyone who shared today in one way or another. So all of my love to you guys. In my 10th grade classrooms, we've been sort of norming that at the end of each session, we put our hearts up to say goodbye to each other. I am going to open up the floor if people want to say anything, but I do ask that before you leave, you put your heart up. That's my only ask. Did anyone want the mic for a second? Okay. So then I'm going to ask you to put your hearts up, or you can put a heart in the stream as well. You are all so beautiful, and I really thank you for spending the afternoon sharing in this positivity. And we will see you all soon. Thank you for coming.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Rico, for hosting this. This was really beautiful.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Rico. This was
you.
amazing.
Thank you, Mr. Rico.
Thank you.
Mr. Rico. Thank you, Mr. Rico.
Thank you, Rico. You're so welcome, everyone. Thank you.